this girl's different than what that girl on that board, who she was. We've grown immensely. Hello, happy Tuesday, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sammy, Sam Marie,
Samantha Marie Delight,
if you will, and we are here today to talk about mood boards. Normally we'd be here to talk about books, and we will be discussing some reading goals today, as you do see back here.
I do read a little bit.
I am a fan of mood boards. The end of 2024, I made my first ever mood board to head into 2025 with. I made a physical one and I made some digital ones just so I could keep them as a wallpaper on my laptop, on my phone. I've never been a massive goal setter, but heading into 2026, a big important thing for me is trying to pull myself out of a type B and lean more into a type A personality. So setting goals has been something I kind of want to do. We'll run through my 2025 mood board and then we'll see what 2026 is looking like. Just a little bit about mood boards. I think it's such a fun, creative way to set the scene and the tone for what your year is going to look like, for what the next 3 months is going to look like. Some people do seasonal mood boards. It's just a very fun, creative outlet to express yourself and express your goals. You essentially end up priming your brain. If you think of like when you're priming the walls before you paint them, it allows the paint to stick. It allows the goals to stick a little bit more.
Oh, please.
Okay, class, this is my 2025 mood board. This definitely got a lot of going on, a lot of creativity. We had a lot of fun making these, me and my sister-in-law, bestie girl Gia. It's just kind of the vision of what the year is going to look like. So if something's not exactly on the dot perfect, it's okay. There were ways that some of these goals actually did come to fruition that weren't exactly how I maybe imagined them, like deep down in my soul. This was Gia's idea. We are just taking a Polaroid picture of ourselves every single year, putting it right front, and it's just a cute, fun little idea, see how we grow up, see the growth with that. So cute little picture. And then here I said, very soon you will smile and say, this is more than what I prayed for. And with that quote, it doesn't necessarily need to be literally prayed, whatever your form of spirituality is. So I would say like, this is more than what I manifested for, more than what I expected. That's how it would feel for me. Whereas for somebody else, it might really feel like more than what you prayed for, more than what you worked for. We're going to look back on this mood board and be like, whoa, we did some pretty cool stuff. But also at the same time, enjoy where you are now. You'll see a couple things about that on this board and the next board. I think a big learning point of 2025, just given personal circumstances and my mom being sick and losing her this year, just enjoying who you are and where you are now and enjoying the people that you've surrounded yourself with, because at the end of the day, everything is unfortunately limited. Time is limited and we don't know how limited it is. Just trying to prioritize, romanticize your life in the there and now. Enjoy who you are in the current and present timeline, because so much of anxiety is rooted in worrying about the past and worrying about the future. Let's try to focus on being here and now and being with the people that we love and spending as much time with them as we can. And then I just have things like be a nice human, good vibes, stay soft. Don't let the things that have hurt you turn you into a person you are not. So just staying kind. There's all of us are going through something different. You never know. You have no idea what they're going through. You just never know what's really going on. So I think we could all find a little bit more peace if we were all just a little bit more nicer. So just some fun little reminders. Down here, saying yes to new adventures, romanticizing life, travel, see the world, while also enjoying what it's like back at home, your day-to-day life. So I have some couple pictures in their home. Me and Brian bought a home this year, and so just really settling into that home life with him and what that was going to look like, but also enjoying the girlies. I have a pretty great group of girlfriends who I think I got to spend a lot of good time with this year, going on girls trips and just seeing each other and being there for each other. I certainly had anticipated maybe some European travel, maybe some out of the country travel. Did that happen? No. Is that okay? Yes, because I did a lot of in the United States travel. We had one of my favorite trips I've ever been on. We went to New York City. I went to Charleston, South Carolina, the Outer Banks. I went to Arizona, Daytona Beach, Florida. So I did so much travel. Was it exactly exactly how I envisioned it? No, but we did have some fun traveling. Down here, this is a lot of career goals, career focus. This is lifestyle. Now we're headed into career, and we have a few things here. And finally, she chose herself. Make it happen, girl. Shock everyone. Choosing things that are going to make me happy. Choosing a career that's going to supplement the life that I want to live. Not being miserable. If you're spending Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 at a job, you certainly don't want to be miserable because it's a lot of your time. This is something that fully did not even come to any light. We didn't do anything here. This is doing like aesthetics. I am a PA, a physician assistant, and I got a training in 2023 to do aesthetics, but I just haven't really done anything with that yet. Another thing I put down that not too much happened with this either is just like one of my dreams, owning like a therapeutic farm. The only thing that did happen was this was for a gift. My husband did make like a business model, a business plan for it. So that was very kind, very sweet, very thoughtful. But this right here, now it is a little bit of a disaster. You know, maybe some cats were tearing at this. I'm not sure what exactly happened. We did move. Mood board has moved places. But this is a smoothie bowl shop, and we did open the bowls in 2025, in the summer of 2025 in July. We had our first pop-up. It is a smoothie bowl, smoothies and juice business. Right now it's heavily based on the bowl side of it, but it's called The Bowls. Me and my husband own it, and we've had a lot of incredible encounters, meeting incredible people, doing different things because of this, and I've really built a community that we never would have built without it. So we did start this business, and we have big anticipations, big goals for 2026. This is something that fully did come to fruition. This is something that did happen. I put this on the mood board when we didn't even have our first meeting to really discuss and get into the nitty-gritty of this. I just think this is very cool because I definitely have a very traditional healthcare job. And so people seeing you do something outside of that, especially maybe like different generations, it's a little bit scary to them, but it is possible. Don't let fear rule your life. This is what we spent most of 2025 doing. It's such a little portion. It was such a big part of 2025. And I'm so grateful for everything that happened with the bowls. I love the bowls. That's our baby there. Down here, talking about stability and working out and keeping a routine with that and running. We got this for 30% of the year. Maybe I'm not being kind with myself. Maybe like 35 to 40% of the year. Started off really hot at the beginning of the year. We signed up for Toughest Nails. That is a 6 to 7 mile run with a bunch of obstacles in the midst of it in Wheeling. My husband and I, we did complete it. So I was on track running quite a bit at the beginning of the year. A little bit before Toughest Nails, we did move my mom and my parents into my house with her on hospice care. And so kind of when that happened, and then we finished Toughest Nails, things were getting a little bit tougher here back home. I just fell off the train. Train was gone. Train left the station, and I just wasn't working out anymore. That's okay. It happens. These are just some more quotes. This is just a quote from one of my favorite books, A Happy Place by Emily Henry, talking about friendship. Up here, this is a lot of content creation goals, and it started off with a different vision in mind. It started off with G and I were doing a podcast, the Pine Cellar podcast. There is a backlist of videos that you can watch if you're interested in them, but it is not currently active. We are not doing anything on that platform, but we were doing a podcast, and that's kind of what I've had here, like editing and hitting subscriber goals and actually getting like a physical studio situation. We had an opportunity to do that, but it just, she went to grad school. Life happened. Things changed. So we did circle back around on that though. Obviously here on this channel, I've been making book content now. So I still think I've been successful in this. There's the book picture and editing and subscriber goals. I've really loved making the book content. I'm having so much fun doing it. I love the filming, the editing. Obviously, I love reading. Obviously, I love book shopping. So I've been having a lot of fun doing it. It's worth your time to do something if it speaks to you. So I still think we achieved this. It just totally went a different way than I had originally planned. And then this kind of had two meanings. I just put like books, a library. I'm the author of my own story. So kind of leading into that, reading and making the content surrounding books, but also I was like considering writing books and things like that too. So this is something that kind of started, like wrote a little bit, but she kind of got left in the dust after my mom passed away. I haven't picked it up or touched it since. This one was on the back burner, but looking back at this mood board, I feel like I can look at it. This does feel like 2025. A lot of this feels like it. This feels like a major portion of it. All of it still works for it. And it's just so interesting and funny for us to all look back on that I did put this this in my mood board, the smoothie bowls, and it came to life beautifully. And we're so excited about this. I can still look back at this board and be like, wow, this feels very fitting to where I was, who I was during 2025. Now we'll kind of get into 2026. This is what 2026 should look like. I think off rip, you can already look at it and it's giving a bit more organization, which is lending itself to giving perhaps a bit more type A. We definitely have more organization here. Things are sectioned off, but it's still cute. It's still fun. I think there's still some things I want to print off and add to this. I definitely would like a little bit more in the midst of things, but I think this kind of really streamlines things. It brings your eyes to certain specific spots, things you want to focus on. So I think that is helpful to it. Whereas that one's like maybe a little bit more chaotic. And again, I think that kind of leans into like trying to lean more into type A personality behaviors and patterns. Up here, same thing. We've got the cutie little disposable picture, which I love that idea. And just some little quotes. I am just a museum of everything I loved. I think that's just like a sweet note. And then never forget how wildly capable you are. I think I've learned how much I can balance on my plate. At one time, I had to do quite a lot of that, taking care of somebody's well-being and health at home, and then going to work and taking care of other people's physical and mental well-beings, and then coming home and prepping for the bowls, and then doing a pop-up. I just had a lot to balance on my plate, and I think I just learned like I'm really capable of achieving things. My dreams are possible. I can get through hard stuff. 2025 was just a big learning year, so I think it's so important to just remember how capable you are. We'll get into this board. I promise I'll stop talking, but I always talk about this when we're working out, when we go to the gym, and we're like, okay, we'll do 4 sets of 8 to 12 barbell back squats. Let's say the first set, I get 8. For some reason, I've now capped myself out at a limit. It's like I did that the first time, so now for some reason, I'm stuck at that 8. I've limited myself. Same with this last year. I have a degree in physician assistant studies. That's kind of where I limited myself to. We're not going outside of traditional work in that. 2025, I really showed myself that there are other things that I could do. I can run a business. I can edit and make content. I can do aesthetics. Did I really practice it? No, but I could get your Botox done for you if you wanted it. Yeah, never cap yourself out. You're capable of so much more than you probably think you are. Another thing about like slowing down and being with this version of yourself, but also being with this version of all of your loved ones. So I will never have this version of me again, so let me slow down and be with her. I'll never be exactly who I am today. I'm certainly, this girl's different than what that girl on that board, who she was. We've grown immensely in a year. It's just insane how things can change. We're looking at 2 different people in these Polaroids. There's people that girl knew that this girl will never get to see again in this lifetime. Right here, this is a little bit of a cheat. I'm not going to call it a full cheat, but it's like a little bit. This is Hyrox Train Like a Girl doing sled pulls. We are doing a Hyrox. We're signed up for a Hyrox in the beginning of March. A month and a half left of training to go. Unfortunately, I was sick for 2 to 3 weeks of that training, which was lovely. But anyways, we're back to it. We're back in the gym. So I know this is going to happen, but in putting this up here, I currently cannot pull the sled at the Hyrox weight level it's going to be at for mixed doubles, because we're doing mixed doubles. It's women's pro weight, I believe, but it's men's open weight. So I can't currently do that. So we put that on there. So hopefully by then I will be able to do that, or I will be able to move it a little bit, and maybe Brian will do most of the rest of it and I'll make up for it somewhere else. Congratulations, you did it, because there's always a chance we go and we don't finish. That could happen. Gosh forbid. We're going to put that there because we are finishing. The intent with this is that, like, let's say it goes well. We really enjoyed it. We enjoyed the training process. I would like to sign up for another one. We're definitely going to do Toughest Nails afterwards. This is in March. I think Toughest Nails is maybe like in April or May. And then maybe we'll look for like an August Hyrox. So that's the goal there. Moving on down. Down in this corner, content creator. No risk, no magic. This has, camera, books, editing, subscriber counts, plaques, some organization with that content creation. That is just kind of focusing on what we're doing here. I did Bookmas this past Christmas season, and I think it really showed me like how much I can do if I really prioritize this and make the time for it. There was a certain like subscriber count. Of course, I have like numbers in my head and where we see things and where I want this to go. They don't make plaques for those lower numbers, so I just like threw up a plaque. This has been a really fun side quest that I've been on, and I'm really enjoying it. So I want to keep doing that and see how far we can push this. I think most importantly is just like building a community, having fun with it. It makes sense to put these together because these kind of go hand in hand with like book goals. This is just like a lot of reading. I put a lot of annotation type of pictures because I would like to to really lean into annotating this year because there's nothing I love more than to pick up one of my favorite books and then flip back through and see all the annotations. I read a little bit every day. I shouldn't go a day where I'm not reading, for 30 minutes. I did put Jane Eyre here because I haven't really truly read a full front to back classic since I read Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, and that was in 2023, I believe, maybe 2022, but that's the last classic that I read. So I just think like reading one classic a year is a fine enough goal for me. I just have this quote, does reading make you happy? And then it says, reading makes me feel, and I just thought that was cute, sweet. If you can change your mind, you can change your life, and I think I've been able to change my mind in 2025. It's always okay to change your mind, change your goals, change your career path, and I think you can learn a lot of that like through reading, learning empathy, and learning about how other people's minds work. And so I just thought it fit there. It also just like looked cute putting that one right there. I have this teeny tiny little corner. It says you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Again, literally what I was just saying, sometimes I look back and I'm like, I could have done this, this, and this, and that could have saved me from some of the student loans of getting the specific degree that I have, but I can't go back and change that. And would I? Because when I went to my schooling, I learned all the things that I learned. I met my best friend. I went to one of my favorite cities and lived there for 2 years. It was just such an incredible and pivotal moment in my life. Even if I could go back and change it, would I? No. When I'm giving people advice though for maybe what they should do if they're looking to be a PA or a nurse practitioner or whatever it is, I do have different advice that I would give them. Of course, I still let people know like, hey, this is how I did it, but hey, this is how I think you could maybe do it better. Over here too, more travel. I put some less specific things like just being on an airplane. There's your stuff's packed for traveling, reading a book on the train. This is New York City. I'd love to go back. I loved our New York trip. I did put some overseas. This just says to travel is to live. Just definitely seeing ourselves travel more this year. If it's feasible, if it's affordable, if it's manageable, why only see one little teeny tiny part of the world? I do know we'll do some overseas travel if a certain thing happens that I probably won't talk about here until it does happen. Yeah, but then maybe some other travel. I'd like to go up to Maine or Cape Cod, and I'd love to go back to New York. I think a Vermont trip could be really cool. And then we put this baby front and center right up in the middle. Catches your eye, off rip. This is all about LaBols, our pride and joy, our baby. We actually have merchandise that I could put on here. I put one of our LaBols stickers on here. I put a lot of pictures of being at a storefront, expanding the menu, because that is priority. One of our top priorities for 2026 is getting a storefront. With that, we can finally expand our menu. There's only so much we can do when we do a pop-up. So when we get that storefront, we can expand that menu, but that's why I have a lot of pictures of being in a store this year. Success is a decision. I wanted to be very literal with this, and I just put, I am a successful business owner. This business, it's going to be successful. We want the success there. We are going to be a part of a competition here locally where you can win money for your business, starting your business, and that's called Show of Hands. It's here in Wheeling. People can vote online, watch online and vote online. People can watch in person and vote in person. We are planning to do this, but if, of course we get that sort of money, it will make a lot of these things easier. But even just the exposure of going to an event like that and getting to talk to new people about the business and just even being there is a win in and of itself. We're very excited about that. I'll probably put like a specific little thing for Show of Hands because it's going to be something unlike anything I've ever done before, and I'm excited for it. I'm certainly nervous, but I'm very, very excited. Really saying clear in words, I am a successful business owner. That's what I am this year. That's who we are. But yeah, I think this is a great look at some really important things. There are some other things that I might take from last year's and still bring them forward just to keep it, again, like priming your mind, reminding yourself, hey, if I look at this every day, it's going to be at the forefront of my mind. Might still add some more things, might add something specifically about being type B to type A, but I also think just the structure of this is already giving that. That's our 2026 mood board. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about the year. This is kind of how I set the tone for the year, and I think it's such a fun way to do it. This is a little bit time consuming. If you don't like a craft, maybe just do it online on like Canva. I think whatever's going to work for you is what you should be doing, as long as you're going to enjoy it. If you're miserable the whole time, then you're going to look at that mood board the whole time over the year and be like, ugh, that was the worst time ever making that. Whereas if you enjoyed it, it's just going to create inspiration and motivation. I love to do a craft with my girl Gia. So this was fun for me. And I think too, if you have somebody in your life who wants to do them with you, that's even more fun. Happy New Year. I think if I could pass anything on to anybody from what I've learned in 2025 and what I'm taking into 2026 is, again, just never forget how wildly capable capable you are, because you can achieve so much more than you really think you can. Don't let others limit you. Don't let your brain limit you. You can achieve a lot if you just make it possible in your mind and surround yourself with good people. But that is my 2026 mood board. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, comment down below what is most important to you to achieve in 2026 and maybe what you're leaving behind in 2025. That's all I have for you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.